Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. That is my email. It's in the description below. Email me for pricing on this Cartier or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Email me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a flagship model launched with the Drive to Cartier collection that debuted in 2016. From the Cartier Fine Watchmaking collection, this is the Drive to Cartier Flying Tourbillon. Geneva hallmark with real rose-lathe guilloche and the titular Flying Tourbillon. This is not your standard Cartier luxury timepiece. The watch is compact and easily wearable on any wrist. 40 millimeters in diameter with a tonneau case. It's only 11.3 millimeters thick from lug to lug, 46.6 millimeters and 20 millimeters between the lugs. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see this is a viable unisex option for gentlemen and lady drivers. The drive line, inspired by the thrill of performance driving in fine automobiles, lives up to that billing in this Flying Tourbillon form. This is for gearheads, and you can also see it's for those with small wrists, as it's nowhere near the edge of my wrist. I see this watch wearing well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, so if you've got that smaller wrist, start your engines. The watch is also low enough to slide underneath a dress cuff or a tight sleeve, so no worries there. The strap, of course, a Cartier piece. It's got a little bit of bolstering to add some volume. It's got medium rectangular scale alligator leather. It is black, gloss finished. You can see it has a folded edge and a monotone stitch. Calfskin on the bottom. It is a Cartier factory strap in very good condition. The crimping is actually only underneath the clasp, so this is the only part of the strap you're going to see. The clasp is the famed Louis Cartier design from 1909, which was a solid 100 years before deployant clasps came to dominate the watch industry, and a solid 90 years before they even became common. You can see that it is a fascinating system, by far the first deployant clasp design on the market. It's also a clever one because it doesn't actually use perforations in the strap. The strap tucks underneath the clasp, so once you've got the clasp sized and closed, it tucks underneath, which obviates the need for minder loops and hides any excess length underneath the strap body, so it's a very clean look. The Drive to Cartier is a slim collection. That continues here. Satin on the mid-case profile, which runs from end to end. There's a little bit of a camber or curvature to the case. You can see that the case and the bezel are all of one piece, so it's got a very unified, seamless appearance. There's a little bit of a character line where the lugs blend with the lower portion of the bezel, and then we have a real sapphire for once in a Cartier crown. You can see the crown is faceted, and so is the sapphire. The watch is a Flying Tourbillon, and a beautiful one. Taking a quick look, you can see the Tourbillon's upper carriage is entirely black polished. It uses conventional curb pins for regulation, and you can see it's beaten away here at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is a Flying Tourbillon, which means there is no upper bridge to block your view of it. You can see the Cartier C has been integrated to counterbalance the tourbillon carriage, which is anchored on each side. It's a handsome, shapely, and beautifully executed tourbillon, and I should let you in on one of the secrets of these Geneva hallmark Cartier tourbillon watches. The only way to get the Geneva hallmark is to build a watch in the city or canton of Geneva and then meet the standards of the Geneva hallmark. The Poinçon de Genève here is achieved by having these movements made for Cartier by Roger Dubuis, a Richemont stablemate, a family member, effectively, of Cartier, whose primary watchmaking activities are in Le Chaux de Fonds. So these Geneva hallmark watches are made by Roger Dubuis for Cartier. The movements, the watch is cased up in Le Chaux de Fonds, but the movement is made in Geneva. The dial has a wonderful three-dimensional quality, and not just because of the tourbillon aperture. You can see that there is a grill over a deeply cut rosette guilloche base. So we have these traditional radially arrayed Roman numerals, as we expect on Cartier watches, but they sit superimposed over the dial base, so there's a wonderful three-dimensional quality and depth of field. You can see the Cartier secret signature up at 10 o'clock, and a really deep rosette pattern in silver. This is far deeper than a conventional guilloche on a Cartier dial, most of which are stamped. This has a real groove to it. It gives you the sense that it's probably the real deal and reductive guilloche rather than stamped. The case back, again, the watch built by Cartier, but the movement built and finished by Roger Dubuis. Note that the frame bracketing, the base of the tourbillon, features the Cartier C, as the bridges have been shaped on both sides to echo the logo of the brand. 90 joules manual wind, 50-hour power reserve. This is the caliber 9452, a manufacturer Cartier movement, and you can see that it features mirrored beveling, the likes of which you don't find on a standard Santos. There's a lot of handsome elements, of which my favorite is this beautifully beveled and satinated click spring, a swan's neck style click spring like you'd find in the pocket watch era. Cartier with the Poinçon de Genève, and you can see black polished screw heads with chamfered slots and chamfered circumference. Locating pegs, where you see them, have black polished heads, and then we have a very narrow and beautifully gradiated striped segment or Côte de Genève across the bridges. It's really good looking. All of this 30 meters water resistant, so don't take it swimming, but it's great for a drive. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.